Hi, my wise astrology tribe, and welcome back to Lunar Grace Astrology. I am your co pilot, Christina, Pisces Sun, Leo Moon, Sagittarius Rising, and yes, astrology is my oxygen. I live it, I breathe it, I research, I question, I investigate. And sometimes I also lose my mind over it because, as I said, I'm obsessed with astrology. I truly, truly love history and mundane astrology and mundane cycles, obsessed with asteroids and fixed stars and Arabic lots, and also with different timing techniques. So before we dive in, please like, subscribe, and comment below. It truly helps me to fight the shadow ban goblin and grow this channel so I can be more active for you, create more teachings, investigate deeper topics, and bring you astrology that is not actually recycled, but very, very deep. This channel is for the curious ones, the ones who actually love patterns. Maybe you are an old soul, maybe you are a researcher yourself, maybe you are that person who just really like mythology, politics, and markets astrology, psychology as well, and actually predictive astrology because a lot of people doesn't like to predict. I saw that lately, a lot of people analyzing, events after it happened. But I do love predictive astrology. I truly like it. And please, I want to hear from you. So tell me, where are you watching from? How long you have been studying astrology? And what is your big three also? Also, if something I say in the video connects with what you are living through, share it please in the comment section because I love to hearing how this transit and any kind of transit actually show up in your real lives. If you ever feel called to book a personal reading with me, you can reach out through my website or email. You can see that on the slideshow over here. From now on, I'm going to try to make slideshow so you know what I'm talking about, and you can see that on the screen as well. So definitely, you know my website, you know my Instagram, you know my YouTube channel, my email. Please reach out to me, and we can actually discuss, what fits you most for your current need, what is best for you. Whether it is medical astrology, financial astrology, maybe you want to have a life purpose astrology or your karmic debt, how to pay off your karmic debt. You can also buy my courses as well. And end of May is my 45 hours. What is that? Financial astrology course is coming out. But we can also talk about your relationship or anything, like your purpose, your deep soul work as well. And I promise to you one thing, I always going to bring my best knowledge and I always going to be honest with you and very compassionate. So if you feel and if you call to book a personal reading, please reach out. All right, today we're going to talk about the Taurus New Moon, which is going to happen on the 16th, guys. We have free lunation this month because we had the Scorpio full moon on the 1st, the Sagittarius full moon on the 31st, so once in a blue moon, right? We were talking about that a week before, or yeah, maybe a little bit over a week before, 2 weeks ago. And right now, I'm going to talk about and analyze the full moon for the new moon in Taurus for you, which is happening 25 degrees and 43 minutes. So we're going to talk about decans over here. And let me see what else we're going to talk about. Okay, here it is. Not this. I didn't want to. Okay, so I'm gonna stop share this one because I have another one. And just a second, let me show because I want to show the chart for you guys. All right, here is the new one, guys, what I wanted to show you. And I'm going through the slides and I want you to see actually the chart uh, because we're going to talk about asteroids. We go actually not really asteroids today, but I'm going to talk about Algol. And we're going to talk about the ruler of the new moon because the new moon is happening in Taurus, and then it's actually the ruler is Venus, what is in late degrees in Gemini and making a sextile with Mars Chiron conjunction the same day when the new moon is happening. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. I just have to, like I'm watching the chart right now, and hopefully I'm not going to forget because I always talk a lot, and sometimes, I'm losing my thoughts a little bit. That's why let me put a little bit of note in front of me. So I have to talk about also Venus and Mars sextile over here since Venus rules the new moon. Yes, so yeah, I always talk about a little bit of mundane astrology, for example, mythology, and also essential dignities, planetary joys, because this is very important to understand how is the recent new moon going to play out for everyone. And I'm going to talk about mundane astrology, recent geopolitical issues. And also, we're going to talk about personal as well, not just because of the 12th sign, but how can it actually affect your health? Perhaps some remedies, perhaps some rituals. I just don't have to forget, as I said, what I will talk about, and a meditation as well. I promised to you guys I'm going to bring in meditation with my friend Fanny, who is an amazing pianist and in Hungary she was really famous. She played in operas and in movies and we are doing remedies actually healing remedies through your astrology chart and actually with music. We create music. She creates music. I analyze the chart and remedies and for personal to everybody, whoever has some kind of issue, maybe financially, maybe in relationship, whatever your astrology chart shows. So let me know if you have any question about that. Shoot me an email and I will answer. Sorry about that. I'm sit a little bit out of the sight of you guys, and because of I have a bad hair day and I didn't want to put makeup on. It is just yesterday was Mother's Day and I'm just tired a little bit. All right. So sometimes I will show my face, sometimes you're just gonna see my living room, and that's what it is. But stay with me, like, hype, subscribe, and comment below, please. All right, we're going to talk about, a little bit of astrology and mythology over here, and we're going to talk about Taurus first, okay? So Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac, guys. And if you're new to astrology, I do use a lot of technical terms also, and I'm teaching you mythology as well. So you might want to learn with me. All right, so what I want to say talk about Taurus a little bit. I love Taurus. Both of my children are Taurus sons, May 1st and May 2nd born. That is the second sign of the zodiac. Taurus is a fixed earth sign. And the fixed earth means exactly what it sounds like, the most immovable, the most physical, the most dense and embodied expression of the element of the earth that exists in the entire realm. Where Aries initiated, struck the match, became the first breath, Taurus settles into the body of what was initiated and asks, does this have roots? Does this have weight? Does this feed somebody? Because Taurus also, I say the second house, it feeds your body. That's the food what you eat. All right. So, where, something, Taurus is where spirit becomes actually flesh, where idea becomes object, where desire becomes possession. It rules possession. The symbol of Taurus is the bull, one of the oldest sacred images in human history. We find it on cave walls, right? What was painted 17,000 years ago. And we find it also in the great bull sacrifice of Mesopotamia. We find it in the myth of the Minotaur, the bull-headed creature at the center of the labyrinth in Crete. The bull is the earth's own animal, powerful without speed, fertile without fragility, completely sovereign within its territory. The bull does not hurry, the bull does not negotiate. The bull simply is, fully and completely, and everything around it must accommodate that fullness. Taurus is ruled by Venus, as we were talking about that before, and this is one of the more interesting rulership assignment in the zodiac because it's not immediately obvious why the most aesthetic, social, and relationally sensitive planet rules the most stubbornly material sign, okay? So the answer lies in what Venus actually governs at her deepest level, which is not love in the sentimental sense, but value, what has worth, what deserves to be kept, what is beautiful enough to be preserved. Taurus is the sign that knows the difference between what is genuinely valuable and what merely looks valuable, between real nourishment and empty pleasure, between the object that will sustain life and the one that will not. Venus in Taurus is Venus at her most embodied, most sensual, most specific, not love as feeling, but love as the smell of bread baking, the way of gold in the hand, a particular quality of late afternoon sunlight on skin that has been outside. The moon in Taurus, actually, because it's going to happen 25 degrees 46 minutes, it's in exaltation, guys. The moon loves Taurus. It's the VIP over here. It has big feeling, right? The essential dignities is exaltation of the moon over here. And exaltation means that a planet function with exceptional strength and it's very, very good for this planet in this sign. As I said, it's a VIP over here. And Taurus is elevates actually its power, its energy, the moon's energy, right? It's more essential over here. Even it's more essential than in Cancer. As I said, in Cancer, moon is home, and in Taurus, moon is like in a VIP vacation in Hawaii when everything is granted and it feels the best, right? So that's what it means over here. Yes, so you have to know the moon rules the fourth house and its home, its domicile in Cancer, and it's fluid, intuitive, emotional, right? And also tied to past and very protective in Cancer. But as I said, in Taurus, when she's exalted, it feels like absolutely on the best vacation ever in her life. So, all right, and then we're going to also talk a little bit about the moon itself and what does it mean. You know, the moon is your emotion, your tears, your feelings, your subconscious. It's your home, it's your family, it's motherhood. And I'm in America, in the United States, we have Mother's Day on the second Sunday of May. In Hungary, the first weekend, first Sunday of May. In Bulgaria, for example, it's March 8th. You know, every country has the different Mother's Day. But yes, the moon is the female cycles, also the tides as well, your menstrual cycles as well. But your tears, your emotions. The moon also rules the general publics and the food supply. Also, especially in Taurus, it rules the food supply. But for example, it also rules, guys, dogs as well, and apples and apple juices, especially over here in exaltation. It is your subconscious, your intuition, and the security you are seeking in your life. It could be also financial security in Taurus as well. And we're going to talk about Venus a little bit and, what is Venus over here. So, for example, Venus is in essential dignity. Venus essential dignity is like it rules Taurus and also it rules Libra. Okay, Libra is daytime and Taurus is nighttime. So absolutely different area, and also it's in exaltation in Pisces. So if you want to know what is the most artist sign ever, that is first Pisces, after for example Taurus, and after Libra. And actually maybe Libra the second one, and then Taurus the third one, because Taurus is more material. And Venus is in fall in Virgo, right? And Venus also detriment in Aries and detriment in Scorpio. But Venus also has planetary joy, for example, and the planetary joy is in the fifth house. Venus loves to be in the fifth house, little VIP over there. It feels like, beautiful over there, like that kind of fifth house energy, but Leo's brings in that kind of um, seduction and playing and children and very artsy in the fifth house as well. So it does have a lot of planetary joy. All right, and what else do we have to talk about here? Yes, the as you saw that on the first slide, second slide, we going to have Venus right now. It's in Gemini, 24 degrees, and a sextile with Mars and Chiron in Aries. Mars is in rulership. Mars Chiron conjunct the same day on May 16th and creating a sextile with Venus. Very important. The ruler is always very important. The ruler of the lunation is very important. And the new moon archetype, actually, it is when astrologically, what does it mean? When the sun and the moon conjunct merge together in heaven, I always say they dance together, dancing their tango, the male, female, the man, I mean, the father, mother, you know, they make love in heaven. That's what it means. And both of the luminaries are in the same degree, in the same sign, right? So it happens usually once a month, and the new moon is dark, guys, because it's a new beginning, right? And it is not invisible, obviously, but for our eyes, it's invisible. She's hidden inside. She's hidden actually inside of the sun, the light of the sun, right? The sun is overbearing, and that's why the sun actually so strong. So that's why the moon can be seen during this time. So every single new moon is a new beginning. It's something like, okay, I can plant a new seed. I can start a business. Even a project or a new job or initiate something. It's an initiator point, for example. Um, and in Taurus, it's very, very nourishing, for example. And in mythology, if we are talking about mythology a little bit, Venus is Aphrodite, and the goddess who was born from the sea and whose domain is the material world in its most beautiful and most abundant expression. We were talking about that. Venus is actually, were born from Uranus genitals. And the new moon is happening usually during springtime. I mean, new moon in Taurus always happening during springtime on the northern hemisphere. And it is when actually um, who is that? Persephone came back to Ceres, and everything started to bloom. So we're going to talk about the 26 degrees. That is actually the third decan, the third 10 degrees in Earth sign. So you are counting from uh, three signs away from Taurus Earth sign. So first is Taurus, Virgo, right, and Capricorn. So it's going to get a Capricornian flavor over here. So we always have to talk a little bit about the decan as well. And Capricorn ruled by Saturn, so it's going to bring in a little bit of seriousness in this beautiful spring and blooming and beginning. Plus, it's happening 26 degrees on Algol as well. So that's very important as well over here. All right, so the first of all, let me mention the Sabian symbol here. But what is the Sabian symbol at 26 degrees in Taurus? And that is a Spanish guy serenading, they call it Spaniard serenading his señorita. Okay, so uh, it is like something about love, something about music, something about a beginning, a new beginning. Obviously, it's romance as well. Um, and the man standing outside a window at night alone with his instrument, singing to someone he loves. He is not inside yet, he has not been invited in. He's making an offering through the music, and music is beauty, and music is also the way we express ourselves. It could be, the lyrics itself when you are singing, it is some kind of connection as well, and Taurian kind, obviously, right? So yes, this is a very beautiful Sabian symbol here. We can do an offering. We can serenade to people who we love. May actually Beltane, May 1st, when was my children were born May 1st and May 2nd. That is about the day, the Labor Day in Europe, and also, love as well, and blooming and beginning of spring, really. So this is a very positive Sabian symbol, and it's a very positive Taurus moon as well. Everything about love. However, because of we do have Algol over here, we will need to talk about, and it could bring in a little bit of bitterness as well. But the new moon itself, it could be very, very positive. All right. So what else we have to talk about here? Let me see the slideshows. Yes, we were talking about the archetype. Here is the Sabian symbol. And yes, I didn't talk about the shadow side actually of the Sabian symbol. The shadow side is manipulation because of, just think of that. How many women are asked their hand in front of a lot of people, for example, on big game as well, and everything is recorded, or in front of people. And some women are not capable to say no, because of doesn't want to humiliate the person who is asking their hand in front of others. So obviously, it could bring in, especially because it's on Algol as well, it could bring in some kind of manipulation as well. So we will see people who are using words, but we want to hear, it could be politicians, for example, but they are manipulating us, right? They are not saying the truth. The act is created, especially because Venus, the ruler of this moon, loves to be in the fifth house, which is theater and stage, right? That's definitely could be, some kind of manipulation over there. Yes, so I forgot to talk about that. Thanks God the slide is, showing it here. And then we're going to talk about Algol, which is in 26 degrees in Taurus, the Medusa stars, guys. It's a fixed star. And we're going to talk about the shadow side of Algol, the mythology of Algol as well, and what kind of gift it could bring in as well. So all right, so the head of Medusa from Greek mythology is represented by an infamous Algol star, right? And as I said, 26 degrees and 10 minutes right now in tropical Taurus, which means the new moon actually exactly conjunct with this. And the new moon is seated inside the eye of the Medusa right now. So we have to talk a little bit about here with the Medusa and what does it mean, what is the mythology of Algol, right? Uh, Medusa is, when you read about the mythology over here, so Algol is situated in the constellation of Perseus, where this hero is slaying the Gorgon Medusa's heads off. Algol is positioned in the forehead of the Medusa. It's a binary star. It's eclipsing itself every 3 days for 8 hours at a time, which means that it appears to mysteriously vanish and then reappear. The ancient who watched the sky without any framework for explaining binary star eclipses found this inexplicable and deeply unsettling. A star that appears to die and then is reborn. Okay, so that's what is the Medusa over here. And the Arab word for alcohol means the demon. Alcohol comes from the word algol. Think about what that tells you. The ancient Arab astronomers who named this star saw in the same quality that they saw in intoxication, the dissolution of boundaries, the loss of sovereignty, the thing that makes you lose your head, that opens you to forces you cannot control, that takes your judgment away and replaces it with something that feels like power, but it's actually a kind of possession. Okay, and then also, you have to know Medusa has two different kind of myth over here. One is when she was flirting with everyone, and that's why she lost her virginity in the temple of Pallas Athena's temple. And the other one when she was just violated and raped, right? So there is two different kind of stories. She haven't done anything. She was beautiful and charming and admired and gorgeous, and she was a virgin with glossy hair, and Poseidon actually ravished her in the temple, and because of his lust, she was raped by him. All right, so, and then after that, what Pallas Athena didn't allow her in the temple anymore. So she was abandoned from that. So, there is two kind of myths about her. One is when she created a circumstances flirting and then she lost her virginity because of Poseidon couldn't, overcome his lust, or the other one is a brutal, violent rape over there. Um, anyway, she, got abandoned and she got banished out from the temple, and she became very bitter. And after that, her gaze became death because she turned every man to stone. That was, the victim was punished for the crime committed against her. So her beauty became snakes. The hair is symbolizing, snakes all over on her head. The secret feminine power once was a gift, for example, was weaponized through violation and then condemned as monstrous. So this is not, like some kind of very easy story over here. It's heavy for the soul, but definitely it's well, because of the new moon right now is on Argol. I could think and I could say there will be a lot of women who got, for example, violated sexually will come through, or the Epstein file. We're going to know a little bit more about the Epstein file at this moment because Venus is the female. It's very feminine. It also sextile Mars and Chiron. We're gonna talk about that later. So in areas, so definitely there will be some kind of advanced what is that hackers who coming out with the story, more people going to get in jail. Why? Because Venus is exalted in Pisces, Pisces representing prison, even if it's in Gemini right now, but that could be an outcome of this new moon over here, right? So that's very, very important. All right, so we see that. But also we have to talk about Medusa's gifts as well, if you can, as you can see that on the side, on the slide. So Medusa, Algol, is also Jupiterian in flavor, and Jupiter is expansion. It's the star of the rich, right? So it could actually bring in a huge money for you, a windfall of money. So, for example, if you have that, my husband George has it on, on Jupiter, actually, Argon in Taurus. Let me see, where is his? Yes, it's in Taurus. So, of course, because Algol is in Taurus, what am I talking about? So, I can't wait, to have a good aspect, and it could bring a windfall of money for him. But it's very positive with inheritances, for example, getting inheritances as well. Yes, so our goal is truly and could be very, very positive as well, financially as well. And but on the other hand, alcohol is could be very violent, and it is not just beheading, but it is also violence and murder, some kind of mass catastrophe as well. It is the demon star, right? It's unfortunate event as well, because it's the nature of Saturn and Jupiter. So Jupiter brings in abundance, and Saturn brings in, for example, death and decay and delays. And because of it's in Taurus, and Taurus rules the neck and the throat, it could be also strangulation, for example, beheading, strangulation as well. Something to do with the throat, literally with your throat, if we are talking about physical harm and astrology, medical astrology as well. So, sorry, over here. Yes, so that is the demon star. But as I said, it could bring in some positive, amazing opportunity with finances. I have to stop a little bit because I need to drink. My throat got from talking and reading for you guys about the mythology, a little bit dried. Okay, so right now we're going to check what the aspect map is bringing. So I need you to pull out your chart right now and check what kind of aspect this new moon going to make with any of your planet. Okay, if you have anything between 24 to 28 degrees Taurus, then it could be very intense. It's a conjunction. If you have a positive planet like Jupiter or Venus over here, then it's something positive. If you have a malefic planet like Saturn, Mars, or Pluto over here, it could become negative. Then check if it's opposing any of your planet in Scorpio between 19 and 29 degrees, 5 degrees before, 5 degrees after. And then if it's squaring because squaring is going to become a friction over here. Squaring actually in astrology, it's Martian in flavor. Opposition is Saturnian in flavor, trine is Jupiterian in flavor, sextile is Venusian in flavor, and conjunction could go either way. Okay, so if it's squaring with your any of your planet, and especially if the planets are negative, like a lot of leaders has Mars or ascendant, but Mars and Pluto in for example Leo or Aquarius, then it could actually bring in some kind of downfall for those people because Algol is here. And even if the new moon is Venus ruled, and the new moon could be something very positive, but also it could bring in difficulties and friction if it is going to square or oppose something with malefic. But on the other hand, if you are the lucky one who has, positive planets over here and then creating a trine with another positive benefic planet, you're going to be very lucky. So that's how you have to check your chart, guys, okay? That's very, very important. Okay. Then we're going to go and move a little bit further from this aspect map, and then we're going to talk about, the Pleiades as well. That is the seven sisters. I always have a very hard time to pronounce this one. That is the seven sister over here. And what does it mean? For example, what does the seven sister mean? Um, the weeping seven sisters, right? It is in 29 degrees 58 minutes right now. So the moon is actually approaching the seven sisters, right? And in mythology, they were the daughters of Atlas and condemned to support the way of the heavens on his head and hands. And Zeus placed them in the sky to save them from the pursuit of Orion. Through their number is seven, only six stars are visible to the naked eye, and it is said that one of the sisters hides her face in shame at having married a mortal rather than a god. All right, guys. So the moon is going toward to the seventh system, to the divine knowledge and wisdom over here, because that's what it means. That's who they are, the seven sisters. But they are also the sisters of grief as well, associated with weeping and pain and sorrow. So what we're going to, for example, when Algol is the new moon is on Algol, we're going to know about things that perhaps we were not ready for, and then the moon is going to move forward within a few hours to the seven sisters, which is sorrow and wisdom and knowledge as well, but through some kind of pain that we experience. So the knowledge that we're going to have, but we're going to figure out or learn about something, and it could be about some kind of child sex trafficking abuse over there, then we're going to weep about that because we're not going to be able to comprehend, how can be people so evil and violent. By the way, I do see, I always read comments. I don't know who you are with that, but I read. So when I watch the podcast of anyone, I read the comments after that because that's very interesting. And how many people lives in denial because they are not ready to see the truth. The truth can hurt them. They're not ready to actually deal with the truth. So they rather to put their heads in the sand and they are like, okay, I'm not doing this, I'm not ready. I rather deny or not watch, ignorance. Ignorance is a bliss. That's why they say because of actually a lot of people ignore facts and then they don't have to face it. It's painful to see the truth. It's painful not to pretend, guys, right? So yeah, that's what's happening over here. All All right, and then obviously it's gonna go the moon to Gemini, and then it's going to conjunct Uranus right away and Sedna within a few hours. But we're not going to talk about that because then I will talk 10 hours over here. Okay, so what is really the medicine of this seven sisters, the sorrow, also Algol? Uh, the medicine is not avoidance, guys, not pretending. I told you before, yes, pretending and ignorance could be a bliss, and pretending is sometimes good because of, then you don't have to face the truth. But right now, during this the new moon asking you to stop pretending, to stop, denying, to live in denial and face the truth. Because the only way you can fight against anything or you can get healed when you are facing the truth. So the medicine sometimes is not very like, unicorn rainbows and things like that. Sometimes it's harsh reality, right? So right now at this moment, yeah, it is like, okay, even if it's something very, very difficult, you need to the willingness to forgive, the willingness to see, even if the things are terrible, then then you're capable actually to destroy your enemy or to heal from there. So that's very important. All right, then we're going to go a little bit further, and I talked about the ruler is in 24 degrees 50 minutes in Gemini, sextile with Mars in rulership in Aries, and Mars and Chiron conjunct the same day, right? So we were talking about that. And you can see that on the slide over here. So what does it really mean? Because that's very important. The ruler of the new moon, the ruler of this lunation formating, a sextile. The sextile is Venetian in favor, as I said before. Chiron is the wounded healer. The planet of value and resources is in easy activating dialogue with the wounded warrior, with the force that moves despite the cost and the moon that the moving leaves behind. I like this configuration actually because of it's going to help us to get healed. It's we're going to defend what's worth to defend in our life. Anything what we love, and with honesty as well. So. Um, and there also, we have to check Mercury as well, the ruler of Gemini, where Venus is, because we can check the dispositor, right? And usually I talk about dispositors as well. So the moon ruled by Venus, Venus is in Gemini, Gemini ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is actually um, combust this new moon as well because of just 2 days before on the 14th, it had a cazimi with the sun. It was in the heart of the sun in Taurus. So the new moon is happening 2 degrees away of this cazimi 2 days later, but it's still combust by the sun and the moon. So it's swallowed inside the sun, right? It's very close to the sun, just like the moon over here. And Mercury is anything to do with information, right? And during this lunation, the narrative, which, any kind of information which is going to come out, it's not going to be fully understandable because the combust says it's not fully visible yet, but wait a little bit when Mercury moves further away the sun, it will be visible, the truth going to come out. So right now we're just going to actually have that kind of shadowy, we don't see clearly anything because the sky is dark, and only the stars showing some kind of little twinkling stars, some pattern where to go. But we have some kind of subconscious, some kind of intuition about the truth, but we don't have the receipt. That's what it means, because Mercury actually is the receipt, guys. And we don't have the receipt. So we cannot go to court, for example, to sue someone because we need to get the receipt first. We have a hunch, we have an intuition, right? Especially because of the moon is your subconscious. You do have the intuition, but you have to wait a little bit more to bring the receipt to make sure you win the case, to make sure, like you will have enough information to move forward. All right. And then we're going to talk a little bit about politics over here and what does it mean. So, first of all, Venus rules Cooper. And I told you guys about my friend Caroline Rafaelian. She was the first billionaire woman 2 years ago. She created actually two jewelry line. Right now, she is also having a jewelry line with the Long Island Medium and Ivy. That's the jewelry line. And Alex and her daughters was the name of her jewelry company. But she also did a Cooper coin for the 250th birthday of America, United States. And the copper is used from Lady Liberty, so that's the Lady Liberty copper coin, but is for sale for $250. I'm going to put her link below in the comment section if you want to order. And she will have crypto with it, and also her documentary coming out about, as well, how did she make it, and why does she has the copper in her hand from Lady Liberty. But yes, so Taurus is ruling copper. Actually, Venus rules copper. And it could actually mean because of it's gonna happen on Algol. Algol is Jupiter and Saturnian favor in flavor. It could be actually increase the price of the copper during this time, and especially because of Venus and Mars in sextiling aspect as well. So definitely that could be that. And what you have to know about coppers, before gold became the currency of empires, copper was the metal of daily life, or tools and vessels, and the wiring of human community, the metal that conducts, that connects, that carries energy from one place to another without consuming itself in process. You have to know, guys, I was doing research and they're going to use a lot of silver and a lot of copper because of the AI, not monitors, but those kind of big AI. Oh my God, power houses are overheated, but copper is really good actually to how do you call that when you for wiring, for example. And also it doesn't heat up. So copper is good to use and silver is good to use for those kind of AI powerhouses because of it's not heating up quickly. And that's why they're going to use that. Um, so yeah, copper price could actually go really high. And as I said, this lady also has this America 250th birthday, the copper coin, which is Lady Liberty coin, copper coin. All right. Also, if we are going back to a little bit, let me see what else I can say over here about copper and other things as well. I just have to check my notes a little bit. All right, so what else can we talk about over here? So, um, as I said before, also, why is it important gold here as well? Because of Venus is in planetary joy in the fifth house, and fifth house actually rules ruled by the sun and ruled by Leo. So that's very, very important because we have to talk about gold as well here. Because if you know, Friends movie, it's called Home. So between July 2025 and January 2026, 129 tons of gold, but was held in New York, went back to Paris as well. And also, China was building an alternative vault as well, and in Shanghai. And a lot of people moved their gold reserves in China. It's 2,313 tons of gold was moved to China, guys. That's a lot of gold. So, what does it telling us? This new moon also, like gold going to move from west to east, for example, or to home, and also copper going to be really important right now. For example, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Chile, Peru, and Zambia hold the majority of the world's copper reserves as well, right? So that's also good to know when we are talking about AI and when we are talking about copper and copper prices, because of, if the US going to still bully other countries, and, a lot of people, for example, Elon Musk and Palantir guy, Peter Thiel and Sam Altman, they all need earth minerals, guys, or precious metals, right, for their AI data centers. And or also for electric vehicles as well, because of Pluto in Aquarius is Aquarian age, and yes, we're going to have everything electric and AI ruled as well. And also we have a lot of solar panel as well. And those are all, and also Uranus in Gemini represents that as well. But that's all have to use, either silver or copper. And because of disease in those countries, actually, and US is blocking and screwing its allies, obviously, unfortunately, then they won't have, because of these countries where we have the most reserves, they're not going to sell to US anything, right? So that is very important to know. And because of Venus is in planetary joy in the fifth house, gold is very important in this new moon as well in financial astrology. And we have to also talk about, because Venus also value system, guys, especially in Taurus, and because that's the financial axis. Taurus and Scorpio is the financial axis, right? So, for example, the second house, it's like any kind of it's not bank and power systems like the eighth house, like insurance company and taxation and shadow government and shadow money. That is actually the government money. That is the government reserves. Anything to do with the second house, the money what the country makes, and that's Taurus, right? And because of the new moon is happening over here, we can also talk about that. And the gold is moved out from the United States. It's going to affect the dollar. If you looking into that, the dollar anyway has a Saturn return in detriment, not detriment, in fall very soon. So it's going to indicate a decline. We already had a huge decline. In 2025, early on 2025, a lot of people feel like we are living in recession, and it is almost like the Great Depression. Yeah, we're not doing really great, guys. Even if a lot of people defending the recent administration, we are not doing great. I just put like for almost $80, I put gas in my SUV, which usually was $50 before, or 55. So this is insane, absolutely insane what's happening right now in the United States. I don't know what's happening in your country where you live, but yes, it is crazy. So this Taurian moon actually could create also, because it's on Algol, it could create some kind of issue with the dollar or currency, because Venus is currency as well, right? And even if Venus is in Gemini doesn't do very well, because Gemini ruled by Mercury and Venus exalted in Pisces, which doesn't like Mercury because Mercury it's in fall over there, right? So obviously, Venus doesn't do very well in Gemini as well. But however, it does sextile with Mars and Chiron, so it could indicate maybe they still going to do. Chiron is the wounded healer. They still going to print money and they still going to stabilize the petrodollar somehow for a while. It's not gonna happen overnight. We're going to lose petrodollar, but it's happening quickly, guys. As I said, because Saturn return of the dollar is coming soon. They started to pay in yuan, and Saudi Arabia not alive for the United States anymore. The Iranian war is a total disaster. It's not just because of the casualties, which is, I don't even know why we are talking about casualties like mass murder all the time. But yeah, so it's going to actually inflate the dollar, and the erosion of the value of the dollar over here. So obviously, if the dollar has erosion and the value decreasing, obviously that's gonna a little bit affect the stock market. The big crash is not coming yet, but it could decrease the value of the dollar. And then also the moon is family homes and real estate as well. So it's on Algol at this moment, right? So they might, and Algol is Jupiterian and Saturnian, so there could be some kind of new government laws. Saturn is and Jupiter also law, right? So and because Algol has that kind of nature, it could bring a new law actually, which is helping to get first homeowner buyers, some kind of um, or big families, for example, who has over four children, some kind of tax, not exemption, but some kind of tax refund, and help with mortgages. So it could bring in actually a law with house buying opportunity, and it could be really positive for that, but not necessarily for values for dollars, right? So it's not necessarily for that. On the other hand, what we also have to talk about, because the second house is Taurus and it's the beef industry, it's also sugarcane, right? Venus over there. It could be also something to do with farmers as well. So it could bring in an opportunity for farmers. They can be buy out from their debt, or they could get some kind of government help during this time, a new beginning, or some kind of food security issue. It's on Algol, guys, and Algol could seize everything. And because of we have the Strait of Hormuz, right, and we also have Russia-Ukraine conflict, we have the Middle East conflict. I mean, conflict everywhere, war everywhere, right? And it could bring in some kind of food security issues as well. So it could be temporary, but we were talking about that with Crusty Saturn going to get visible May 12th tomorrow. So it could be in Saturn info could be very, um, what is that, malefic. And then 4 days later, when we have this moon on going closer to the seven sisters and on Algol, it could bring in some kind of issue with food security, or famine, for example. And you know what? Algol could be poisonous as well here. So it could be like maybe it's not just the crisis, because of the Strait of Hormuz, they are not capable to come through, or it's blocked, but it could bring in some kind of fertilizers crisis. The crops are dying because of they don't have enough fertilizers. Or it could bring in a lawsuit, Argo, right? Because of Roundup. Because I remember when Kennedy wanted to be the health minister, said, okay, I want to get rid of Roundup. And Trump said, okay, we will get rid of, Roundup. However, Roundup owner is big buddy with Trump, right? Anyway, if you want to do researches, I don't want to go into the rabbit hole, guys, right now. But check who owns Roundup and all the big pharma and all the vaccination. Very interesting, all the connection over there. But uh, Trump said, okay, we actually giving opportunity to Roundup and let them poison us, right? Or not them, but the general public. Moon is the general public over here. But yes, actually, the shipment from the Black Sea can have some kind of disruption, and we could have some kind of crisis with food supplies as well. All right, and then the other thing is because Algol is here, Algol is the Medusa, right? It could be land ownership and housing crisis, not because it could have to for first owner buyer, house owner buyer of or big families to buy houses, new laws, but also it could be like a lot of people could be like squatters, they call them, they just move into your house and it's hard to actually evict them. Or they going to make you sign a paper, old people, and then they take your house away. It happens in New York very often, New Jersey very often. So be careful what you are signing, because they are lying. So that could be some kind of, Taurus rules the land and land ownership. Settlers, you can see that in the Middle East, the country of the white and blue country with the star, it is, there is a lot of settler, very aggressive, very Algol-like, very violent and malefic, and, take over land ownership as well. Yes, and also if you want to talk about a little bit about the flotilla, because of we had the flotilla going trying to reach the border of Gaza, and there was about 175 activists. A lot of Italians as well, and they get actually arrested or violated or abused and put in jail, and they don't let them out. So right now the Italian Prime Minister Meloni is actually cutting the cord with absolutely with Israel. It's not just only like, okay, they are doing a mass murder, but also they don't want to involve with any kind of um, like selling or buying stuff from that country or state again. So yes, that's very stand my ground, very bull-like new moon. It's a new beginning. I said what I said. I'm going to actually confront. I'm the bull over here. Don't poke me. If you poke me, I'm going to thorn you apart with my horns. The bull is very patient until it's get poked and poked and poked, and then it's like, all right, I'm done over here. Yes, but agricultural land grabs across global south everywhere. That's what it means. Also, if you watch the news and you can see what's happening in Africa and South Asia and Latin America as well. Um, of course, there is a lot of corruption and there is a lot of private investment right now, and they are taking, the lands away, or just cutting out trees, Taurus, and farming, and they cutting out the Amazon and creating farmlands. And things like that. So definitely could happen something like that. And if we're talking a little bit more about the financial axis, which is Taurus and Scorpio over here, and Taurus is rules what you own, and Scorpio is actually rules what you share with others, or that's your tax, that's your inheritance, the global debt as well, and wealth distribution, right? So over here, it could be like some kind of major split between nations, or within nations. For example, um, how is actually wealth distributed, and the people going to know about that, they're going to learn about who had a foreign account, and for example, tax the wealthy. Do you know that slogan? I know a lot of people around me say, "Oh, is it nice to tax the wealthy?" And I'm always laughing. I was like, they want to know about the hidden accounts, guys, the criminals who, a lot of them are criminal who has hidden accounts, and they want to know about that, and tax that. It doesn't mean like, okay, you make a little bit more money, like 200,000 more, and you will be actually robbed. It means like the billionaires. And a lot of people fights with me like, no, Elon Musk pays tax. No, guys, they put that in stock market and they borrow against their stock, right? And that's the money what they use. And when they pay back this borrowed money, then they don't have to pay tax again. So, the rich is really getting richer and wealthier, while, the people who are working for them, for example, Amazon, and I'm guilty in charge. I order from Amazon because it's convenient. I don't have to, it's easy to return if I have to, if something doesn't go on the, I don't like, or it's whatever, it's easy to return. But, terrible, terrible. Amazon is terrible monopoly, and I try to be better and not to order. I couldn't yet somehow, but I will find a way not to use Facebook, Instagram, guys, and YouTube. I just want to let you know, because I will go to actually, different accounts, which is not this oligarchy who are supporting mass murder and wars and feeding on the blood of the general public. I just don't want to do that anymore. Somehow I have to become better. But yes, they don't pay tax. And the distribution, actually, the Taurus Scorpio axis, actually, the wealth distribution over here, going to be seen by us. And we're gonna weep, because we are like, how is it possible? How much money they spend from our tax paying dollars. You pay tax. The general public pays a lot of tax, and the oligarchy doesn't. How is it fair? Why is it not fair to tax the rich, and people are like doing their stupid propaganda and slogans, but they don't even understand what is it behind, just learn the sentence. But when you are asking them, they cannot answer any questions because they are indoctrinated and they are actually uneducated. And this makes me, they blindly loyal, and it makes me so upset and mad. So yes, it could be, an issue there. Uh, So, for example, Scorpio also genetic, guys, and you can see maybe who is wealth linked to some kind of wealthy families, um, not genetically, but because of, okay, this one is actually um Trump children's, or like the monarchy, everyone, the princesses and princes, or how is it, wealth, like going family to family, generation to generation, not family to family, but generation to generation. Yes. Um, all right. And what else I can say over here? There, because Taurus is farmland, it could be, and the moon itself rules water, right? And it's lakes and water. So there could be some kind of intense negotiation about climate change or uh, safe, for example, water as well, or how to clean up our oceans and water. Also, how to create, rainwater, because also the AI uses a lot of water, guys. And it doesn't use salty water, it has to use actually the drinking water, the clean water without salt. And right now there is going to be some kind of negotiation about like, all right, how can we create maybe with manipulating climate, right? Cloud seeding and more water so the AI can use, because unfortunately there it's going to be more AI usage. Um, but then it's not gonna take the fresh water away from people. But definitely, it's gonna be a major news about and around, freshwater qualities and also climate change possible as well. Uh, yes. What else we can talk about here? Let me see. The Venus rules woman, right? There could be, because it's a new moon, it could be like there will be a lot more initiation to have women's leader as well. But as I said, because it's, women's, there will be a lot of classes actually, which is going to help women, single mothers, and women in general, how to actually accumulate power and finances, and teaching them like classes. I- Yes. What else we can? And the second house is agriculture, right? And it's also planting and new crops coming up, fertility. This is the moon itself. Um, well, it could be everyone is planting a new seed. There could be also like something what was lost maybe. They thought, we don't, or some kind of new way to actually fertile the soil. Back then, but Dr. Vala said, they used actually the wood and the coal ashes and put that out on the soil. And then because of the soil became had more mineral, and always the everything became more fertile. The soil became more fertile, and people was not depleted, for example, from minerals, right? But right now we don't have that. Everything is filled with chemicals and roundups, and people getting sicker. But maybe they're going to find a way how to actually remineralize the soil right now, um, without actually using any kind of roundup, or without, for example, burning of jungles and woods. Yes. The other thing is, the new moon also really for important for other, geopolitics as well. If you remember the Cold War, first of all, how the Cold War starts, it's always, with tariffs and or illegal tariffs also. And what the recent United States administration does, it's absolutely, losing alliances and doing some stupidity with tariffs, because you are the one, the consumer is the one who is paying for the tariffs, because the eggs get more expensive, oil is more expensive. We pay the price over here, and never the oligarchy, never the rich, right? But okay. So you also have to understand when you pay tariffs, because Trump administration said, why is Canada not buying exactly the same amount of things from us than we buy it from them? Because Canada only have 40 million people. Germany has a lot less population, and also smaller country as well. So they cannot buy exactly the same amount, guys. And so because that's stupid. But okay, so tariff can actually start Cold War. And if we have actually Cold War, right? Because of this right now, and because of the dollar also going to be not popular anymore, and it's going to decrease the value as well, we can actually start to somehow unintentionally, or I don't even know if it's intentional or unintentional, but somehow direct the power to the east. And that's what's happening right now with the BRIC nations as well, right? Because I told you guys, the gold went to East, and right now BRICS creating their unit, which could be uh, um, payment method instead of the petrodollar. So the whole entire structure, the new moon in Taurus, it's the financial axis. The whole entire structure is creating some kind of new financial axis. And I told you guys, fiat currency gonna be over, and we going to lean on gold and cryptocurrency as well. So it's going to be digital as well. Yeah, but because of the moon itself is the general public, but also mothers and women. You will see some kind of protest, perhaps mothers walking together. It was in Italy already, like Palestinian and Jewish mothers walk together barefoot, protest against the mass murder. And you will see more women to to have their voice heard. And yeah, so that could be very, very important. What else is happening over here? You know what? We're going to talk about actually each individual rising sign a little bit. I just shared this slides with you over here. So there is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer rising. I'm going to start with Aries rising, guys. This is going to land in your second house, this new moon. And Taurus over here in your second house is completely at home. So it's going to hit you in the most concentrated and personal financial territory of your entire chart. The seed being planted here is about money, self-worth, values, morals, a relationship between the two, actually between, you know, uh, your self-confidence and also your morals as well, but you believe you deserve, right? And it's going to actually could increase your self-worth, self-values. It could actually help you to maybe have a sidekick job over here, and maybe you can ask for more money, more salary right now, because you understand your self-worth. And because you understand your worth, that's why you're capable, also that is your throat chakra, you are capable to ask for something, right? For more income over here. Also, you can have some kind of new sidekick job as well. Maybe you are singing right now, or create some kind of art which you can monetize later on. And it could become something tangible, or you buy an art, for example, or you get a jewelry, a diamond, which could be very, very expensive, and it could preserve your money as well. On health territory, we were talking about your neck, your thyroid, your jaw, that is your lower jaw, your throat, right? So, yeah, there could be some kind of change over there. Maybe you need an implant surgery, and you make your mouth beautiful, your teeth beautiful. You grinding your teeth and you just get a mouth guard, right? Or an invisible line, or you can heal some kind of jaw tension right now. Anything from shoulder up to ears, right? Something you can tighten your neck, or have a surgery on your double chin as well. Um, Yeah, but it could be some kind of hormonal changes where maybe you had thyroid issues, but you healed yourself, and it could come and it could become positive, definitely. Definitely careful with Agolis here, some kind of neck injury, or maybe as I said, it could be a broken teeth and you need an implant there. All right, then we're going to Taurus rising sun and moon. It's going to happen in your first house, guys. First house, everything about yourself, your identity, your body, like a temple. It is the way you represent yourself and your company. And Algol is here with full force, right? And the moon is exalted, and it's exalt you, the way you represent, way you present yourself. So it is like you might going to buy your dream house. You can start a startup right now, a new career, for example. Anything to do with, like with your nose up or yeah, nose up, your eyes. Maybe you're gonna get a beautiful glass because you don't see, or a laser surgery, and it's going to be healed. Or like maybe just a new haircut, and you will feel really good about yourself right now. But yeah, definitely it could bring in a new family member, new life. You can get pregnant. The moon is motherhood during this time, or your partner can get pregnant as well. Or you're just going to hire a designer to design your home, for example. Yes. Uh, Skin, blood, careful with blood sugar level because you might going to have a sweet tooth and you want to eat a lot of, like sugar, for example. Especially if you have the sun over here and you are a Taurus and you're celebrating your birthday, it could be like, all right, I ate too much sugar and my blood sugar rise. But something to do with the physical stuff, you will feel very magnetized and beautiful, and a lot of pleasure, for example, could come into your life during this new moon here. Start something what you haven't done for a long time. Maybe you start to make jewelries as well. So definitely, it could be very productive. It could be beautiful. You are celebrated, your physical existence. Take a long bath, take long walks because, or play with animals, buy a dog. Moon is also representing dog as well. Gemini rising sun and moon is going to happen in your 12th house, and 12th house is, hidden. It's anything to do with hidden work, spiritual retreats. It's very private. It's something what is underground, what is not seen. It's solitude. It's retreat centers. It's addiction centers, hospitals, hospice centers. Also, like little boutique hotels. If you want to open a boutique hotel, it could be really good. If you are feeling like you want to go to a retreat, a feminine retreat, a writing retreat, it could be very good for you as well. Um, you can heal from grief, for example, here. The audience is not seen, so you are creating something in privately behind the scene, what will be seen soon, but not just yet. You are not ready with yet. Maybe you gave up some kind of addiction, and you will come out from a hospital or hospice, or from an addiction center, and you will feel good about yourself. Your skin is more beautiful. Uh, so it could heal you, right? And then anything else, it could be something to do with sleeps. For example, you might going to start a sleep journal because you have a lot of lucid, vivid dreams. Algol is here, it could be something about disturbance dreams as well, but or nightmares as well. But anyway, you will be very, very lucid. And definitely, meditation could restore your health, for example, especially mentally, if you are overstimulated mentally. Um, and it could help you a lot. So try to do meditation, try to do grounding, sitting in the grass outside. It's beautiful. Do cherry picks or whatever, gardening is very important for you guys. Cancer rising sun and moon is going to happen in your 11th house. 11th house is you know, your community, your future vision, your friendship of friendship. It's the collective belonging. It's also the network and social network as well, internet network as well, your Facebook community, right? The feed, which is larger than your purpose. And then anything to do socially over here, maybe because the new moon is in Taurus, it's exalted, you're going to be invited for social event. There is a lot of VIP people, right? It could be also you can do a non-profit, a startup. Maybe you do a trust and you buy a house on the trust name. Or for your non-profit, maybe childcare center, you can buy the temple you wanted to buy and create actually an art or childcare temple, childcare school over there. But it has to be non-profit. Something to do with, family members, reconnect with or friends. You're going to meet friends who will feel like family. Reconnection over here as well. You can actually win a court case, especially with Algol here, if you've been abused, or it could be also yes, you can win a court case or go through adoption and you adopt someone. During this time, you can marry the third time as well. Health-wise, the 11th house, that is your ankles, your circulation. Actually, that is your nervous system. And you can get overstimulated. Maybe you are too much online or listening bad news. Especially with Algol, you are seeing the stories, what's happening in Middle East and about all the sexual abuse. And you can get actually overwhelmed with that and very negatively overwhelmed with that. So try to get off from the news. That's what I'm doing right now. But it could also bring in, maybe you're gonna start a community gardening, guys, because it could be that as well. Some kind of community gardening, or you can become the leader, female leader of the HOA or community center leader, for example, as well. What else could be here? You can lend money for friend or borrow money during this time, and it's positive. And yeah, definitely you can create an online community like a mommy group, a female group, a healing group, a moon circle as well. Leo rising sun and moon, it's happening in your 10th house. 10th house is anything to do with your career, with your, anything to do with your reputation, your as a public figure, authority, legacy, also your father figure. Um, and that is the most visible point in our chart, and it's happening for you, Leos, over here. So you are planting a seed with your career, if you're still in school, you might going to become a president of the university. Well, the not president, the student president of the university, or actually you can go right now and create um, what is that? A political group, for example, or support a political group. It could be like you're gonna become the first female leader in your, wherever you work at. Very powerful placement. Material outcomes could be also positive over here because you can get inheritance or the father business right now or mother as well, because the moon 10th house is father, but the moon itself is the mother. So some kind of family inheritance, family business can come in as well. And especially if your midheaven is in the 10th house, that's very important. You can change your name, you can become a doctor, you can doctorate right now. finish a master degree, for example. 10th house rules your knee, your joints, bones, the skeletal structure as well. So it could be like maybe, and the moon is a lot of water. Maybe you have exalted, so a lot of excess water edema in your body somehow. It could be some kind of chronic tension and illness, which is creating like water retention could be possible as well for Leo rising. And Leo rules the heart, so careful if you have water retention and your ankle or knee is swelling because it could be heart related as well. So definitely check that. But because of that's anything to do with the skeleton, bone, and calcium and magnesium in the body, just check it. Check the minerals in the body. Maybe you need more salt. Uh, and I right now I bought a lot of Celtic salt as well and sea salt that has a lot of minerals, so it could be the sodium level could be really really low. Then Virgo rising sun and moon, you do have actually that, where is that for you? In the ninth house. So the ninth house. And, you know, um, something to do with your higher education, your philosophy, foreign countries, with your long distance travel, anything to do with spiritual framework, publishing, larger meaning, anything to do with your older siblings as well, and cultures. So you might going to go and study in a foreign country or teach a language in a foreign country or get a visa, citizenship, move abroad. It could be possible. Travel, a lot of traveling could come up the next 6 months, right? It could be like, all right, I publish my book right now, and the new beginning starts because I can be a bestseller and I get a lot of royalty and I can live happily ever after. So it could be very, very good. And also, it is something to do with you can get in a really good, what is that, university, for example, or start a YouTube channel because Ninth House rules that as well. Start to write, start a PR company, a publishing company could be also a good step here. Um, Go on a long distance travel, get your passport, get your citizenship. The health-wise, it's your hips, thighs, and livers also. So you might going to need a little bit of liver supplement, dandelion, milk thistle, detox your liver. Maybe you eat too much sugar as well. So it could support your liver, or it's also fat as well, the ninth house, because ruled by Jupiter. So you might going to lose some, not lose, but gain some weight on your thighs, for example, hips. Um, yeah. And what else? You can reconnect with your sibling, especially if they live far away and if they older than you are. Uh, it could be like some kind of good, outcome if you have some kind of lawsuit as well. You can actually start a new philosophy or a new belief system as well. Maybe you didn't practice because you were upset, and right now you're going back to your religion or start a new philosophy. It's usually a new one, not going back to something old. But yeah, or start to, because we just had the Kazemi before, 2 days before, you can start to teach, for example, online workshop or YouTube teaching as well. You can get invited to podcast, for example. Then we have Libra rising, Sun and Moon is gonna happen in your eighth house. Eighth house is the axis, that is um, the what is that axis? Yes, that is the financial axis. So anything to do with sex, debt, taboos, death, investigation, inheritance, insurances, surgeries, miscarriage, abortion, giving birth. It's all belong from here, guys. So you might going to give birth, right? Or get pregnant during this time. It could be like, all right, I gonna have a new saving account. I signed a really good prenup, or I divorced and get a good settlement. You can get an amazing, huge tax refund during this time. You can get and going on your bank account. You can have a good mortgage to buy a house, or you pay off your mortgage. Actually, it's a new moon, so no more debt right now, or pay off your credit cards. It could be also with sexuality as well. So you might going to go to sex therapist or start some kind of new, like intimate connection with your significant other in a different way. Um, Maybe it's because Taurus is really tangible. It loves to smell, like to you're gonna use more candle or more lotion or something, but you can smell, you can touch. It's like or having massages, couple massages, things like that could be really important for you, Libra rising, Sun and Moon. Um, yeah, mortgage payoff, or it could be also payoff debts as well. You can talk to a shrink if you had some kind of algolis here, any kind of violence in your childhood or any kind of abuse there. So it could bring in a healing. Don't forget the ruler, which is Venus in Gemini. So talking about something, right? Sextile with Chiron. So healing some kind of sexual trauma could be definitely possible over here. Something that's discomfort, even a small conversation, but it's going to release some kind of uh, issues, and you heal from that. Scorpio rising sun and moon is going to happen in your seventh house. That is your relationship, that is partnership, committed, anything to do with bond, like strong bonds, negotiation. That's the mirror of the self over here. Also, that's your VIP clientele. So you might going to gain a lot more client. It's opposite your first house, so it's a mirror, right? So you are seeding something in the relationship, maybe confronting with your romantic partner or healing something with your romantic partner. It could be also a new collaboration with a new business partner, but you can get committed and professional, get some kind of professional alliances as well, which is going to shape the direction of your work. The thing is, over here, you can get engaged, you can get married. Very Libra way. Maybe you're just going to buy some beautiful jewelry for your partner, or yeah, it could be that easily, or you going to receive something from your partner. Maybe you need to actually confront or just talk about what's happened with you before and what doesn't make you comfortable in your sexual relationship. So it could be something what was unspoken right now needs to become visible, right? With health wise, it's your kidneys and your lower backs, it's your adrenals as well. It has to be balanced right now. Maybe you are going through a PMS or menopause or some kind of, hormonal imbalances, even if you are a male. It could be some kind of hormonal response, maybe, for stress, but you can feel it. You get, a lot of zits or rash because of, Venus's skin that rules this moon, and because of stress. Uh, but it definitely could bring in new love and very exciting new relationships as well. The positive outcome is that. And Algol is here, guys. So, it could be like, all right, I like this because of maybe I'm married with someone who is very rich, or I get a very good prenup sign, or get a how do they call that? When you get an advance, for example, for some of your art project, but you need to paint or photograph or things like that. Sagittarius rising, sun and moon, it's gonna happen in our sixth house. I'm Sagittarius rising myself. you know, six has anything to do with our daily work, service for others, routine, health practices, that is private insurances, that is, your yoga studio, your gym, it is your rental properties, it is, something to do with your dog as well, small animals. So it could be like you adopt a new dog, or your dog can get healed. It could be like you get a good news about your health, for example, maybe your breast, because of or your teeth or breast, right? Because of Taurus rules the jaw and the throat. Maybe you heal yourself from autoimmune or thyroid issues, or it could be something. Careful with food, because of, it could be like, oh, I want to eat more sweet. I want to have, like somehow I just crave for sweet during this time. But also there could be an amazing healing coming in here. And what else? Your breast can get enlarged, maybe because you are pregnant and or breastfeed, and you're just going to like the way your breast looks at this moment if you are a female, obviously. But it could also bring in an amazing new rental property, or just an opportunity to buy a house and rent it out. Uh, yeah, so there is a lot of opportunity over here. You might going to join a new yoga studio or a gym, um, or as some new healthcare routine, or maybe even just like a skin routine, but somehow you will feel very beautiful and attractive and magnetic because of your creams are working. Definitely, but I ordered the Freya Organic because I'm a Sagittarius rising. I have to tell you that, and it really helps with my dark circles around my eye. After 3 days, it's significantly less. So maybe you're going to do something like that, and you're going to be pleased with that, or a new hairstyle as well. Definitely the routines are changing. As I said, you can have some kind of pet coming in. A small pet finds you and doesn't want to move from your door, so you need to adopt that pet. You can take most changes in food, for example, which is healthy. Maybe you're going to start to juice or have a free 5 days watermelon. Right now, watermelon is available in a lot of countries. And, like fruit diet to cleanse your body, a cleansing over here. Uh, yeah, or what else could be? Hmm. 6 house daily routine. You're going to be a lot more loving in your industry, in your job. You can get a new job, by the way, because that is also if you put your anamnesis. Oh my God, your um, I forget the word. Okay, so you can get a new job. You can get hired right now, or hire a lot of employees as well if you want to. And those are the right one who love to work with you, who wanna work with you, who create good content for you, and create your life easier and more beautiful. Your your work, right? So that could happen for you. All right, then Capricorn rising, sun and moon, it's happening in your fifth house, my dears. Fifth house is romance, children, creativity, artistic expression, anything to do with your lover, and also sport leagues as well. So you might going to join a sport league, you might going to, buy a timeshare, you might going to go for a summer vacation, or just pay for a summer vacation because but you pay it right now during this moon, and you decide. There could be also you finishing or starting a project. It's starting a project in art, anything to do with writing, painting. It's Taurus, right? Maybe you can become a designer. Definitely some kind of achievement, either in sport leagues, or you might going to had it. You might going to hire a editor or agent, manager, for example, especially if you are a singer or actor, actresses, it could happen for you guys. Definitely very creative, definitely very joyful. During this time, you might going to get pregnant. Your child could get an award ceremony, and you're so proud of them right now. It could bring in a new romance for you, and actually, it could bring in some kind of gain from investment because fifth house is investment as well. So right now, you see your cryptos going up, and your stocks that you invested are going up right now. Health-wise, fifth house, anything to do with heart and spine, and also the solar plexus, which is, the life force energy, so vitality as well, and genuine joy. And because of that, Taurus going to bring in a lot of joy as well. Uh, Definitely careful with food and a lot of sweets here because of the, heart. But as I said, it could just bring in joy because of you have a lover and you become very romantic or you became pregnant and you wanted this pregnancy so long. So it could bring that in for you. Um, yeah. And then let's see, Aquarius, rising, sun, and moon, two more signs to go, guys. Aquarius, it's going to happen in your fourth house. Fourth house is anything to do with your family, your ancestry, emotional foundation, your private self, your home, anything what is very intimate circles, what's not really seen, it's deeply rooted. And it could bring in a new family member. It could bring in a new home. For example, you put your grounds down, your roots down somewhere, you get married, you buy a home, you move in together with someone, for example. It could be like also you doing an ancestry and you find out, do a family tree. That's what you wanted. It could be also some kind of genetic test, but it turns out to be positive. You found a member who you didn't know they exist, and it's a family member. It could be also good for, inherit something from a mother figure. Your emotional habits can change right now. You can actually continue some kind of tradition, some legacy of your mother right now. Uh, During this time or create a new family tradition. You can create your whole home could become a sanctuary, very comfortable. Taurus loves comfort and luxury. Comfort, more comfort than luxury, but uh, it's something which is nourishing. You have, like maybe you curb a pier, you do a beautiful garden, or you do something outside in your house but inside as well. It could be like your kitchen, renovate your kitchen. And for Hosi's chest and stomach and digestive system, it could be like some kind of emotional disturbance over here. Maybe, you eat a lot of processed food and, like your gut telling you, okay, I'm done over here. I need to heal myself. I need to address these issues and these patterns. And it is genetic. I always believed of Bruce Linton, biology of belief. I'm sorry, I forget that. Biology of belief, like, yes, you are capable to heal. A lot of things is circumstantial and not genetic. And you are like, okay, I'm not going to continue this kind of trauma in females within my grandmother, mother. I have to stop that. And it ends with me over here. The negative force is could be some kind of, material security issues and some kind of inherited belief, which is like, okay, I think, like I don't deserve this or I have to work for something very hard to become, rich. All right, Pisces, rising sun and moon, my beautiful Piscean mystical, Pisces. It's gonna happen in your third house. If you are over 45, 50, you might want to go with your sun sign anyway. So I have my sun and Jupiter in Pisces, and I'm many times considering Pisces when I do analyze a chart for myself. So It is in the third house. Third house, anything to do with writing skills, speaking, local environment, your younger siblings, short journeys, anything to do with everyday practical expression, the way you connect with your neighbors, the way you communicate and teach. You can do a new workshop, for example. You can do something. And because of your Pisces rising, it could be something, very um, um, invisible kind of dimension and experience for you. You're going to write about dreams or workshops about dreams and dream language and Piscean, maybe even art, uh, anything to do with spirituality, for example, afterlife. You can write book about hospice. Maybe you are a death doula and you're gonna write your experience. Your vision's going to become the message actually between you and your subscribers, or between you and the people you're teaching right now. And the new moon is allowing you to see something over here in the third house, which could be, as I said, even studying something, go to a workshop. And I told you guys I did get the Norvac scholarship, and I'm also studying. I always study with ISAR. That's the best way to study astrology, not just watching at YouTube workshops as well, or YouTube videos, but it could be ISAR as well. Something to do with mysticism, write about that, have your first book, like published or written, for example. And the third house is your arms and shoulders, and also its respiratory system as well. So you can start a breathing technique. What I really like, I like the gamma breathing technique, guys. It's amazing. It's allowing you to relax and actually it's helping you to um, oh my God, I forget that word. um, alkalize your body. So it's very good, that technique, but you can actually listen more music or maybe write a lyrics, or it could be like you're going to take on to dancing class in your community, go to Zumba, for example. Just start a communication project as well. Anything to do with if you were misunderstood or unseen or like forgiven, because Medusa is over here, right? It will be, and it will end really soon. So I feel like Medusa is going to help you to fight for yourself. If you've been shadowed, and or if you were fear to speak, right now you are not silenced anymore. You're going to be able to speak and to be heard again. All right, guys. So that was the 12th sign, and I also want to talk a little bit about what is that? Okay. Yes, let's talk about a little bit of rituals over here, but I do. First of all, it is the axis of, not word axis, but the financial axis of Taurus, right? So we can do a wealth vase over here. And the wealth vase always goes to the south, what is that, southeast. And and it has to like include jewelries, or it could be rice put into it, and it could be something like cinnamon cloves, which is representing wealth, and you can put a lot of different currencies in it, and you have to have all the elements. So on top of that vase, and with 5 different kind of ribbons, so earth, water, metal, air, and fire element. The colors different, and also the ribbons different color, and then just put that on each other's and hide it actually on the southeast corner during this time, and that is a really good feng shui remedy. On the other hand is usually on new moon or first of the moon, I always blow cinnamon in. And even if you have dog and cat, it's not poisonous and you don't blow a pound of cinnamon in, just a little bit. So don't worry about that. I also have, a little bit of cinnamon in my mopping water, and the house smells like cinnamon. So I like it because it's one of the most amazing money ritual for me. I always plant a seed, especially in Taurus moon, because its moon is exalted. So, and in Taurus, it brings in wealth for sure. But literally, you can plant something, a tree, or pay money for reforestation somewhere. Buy an olive tree, or whatever. But it could be very very good ritual. Also, Venusian energy, Venus is something to do with jasmine rose petals. Usually, I draw a bath and I put a lot of flower petals. I drink a lot of tea with or smoothies like smooth mango smoothies, sweet mango smoothies, or I do a bath ritual during this new moon as well. And usually I use sea salt for purification, but fresh or dried, petals I use for my bath, and it's beautiful. It's very feminine. It's very sacred for me, and I like it. You can write a letter. You can write a letter about kindness, maybe for a loved one, maybe for your children or for your lover or husband, wife, or your parent. Anything, but it has to be about love because it carries the energy of Venus. And everything what is written actually and handwritten, guys, it is carries a lot of energy. Very potent. And you can also give to a dog shelter because the moon representing dogs as well. And especially it could actually create positive karma, or single mothers, children shelter could be also an offering here. An earth offering, it could be also something with that. But I would think grounding is very important. So go barefoot and sit in the grass for 2 hours, and it will help you a lot. All right, guys. And then we have to actually, or if you would like to, we can do a very short meditation over here. And as I said and promised, I will come with new moon, full moon meditations, and also meditations for different hard aspect as well, or positive aspects. So you will find that differently on my YouTube channel very soon. Probably summer times I'm going to create those. But right now, if you would like to, just find a comfortable place, and it could be a seated position or you can lay down. You can put on a music, guys, any kind of music, or maybe you just want to put something on like a rain, raining outside thunderstorm kind of effect as well, or some kind of white sound. But make sure you are comfortable, you are sitting or lying down, and let your hands rest on your thighs, palms facing down, so you feel the weight of your own hands on your own legs. This is already a Taurus gesture. The hands meeting the body, the physical meeting, the physical. Close your eyes, take a deep breath through your nose for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 4. Release it through your mouth for the count of 6. Do this 3 times without changing anything else. Just letting the breath slow the nervous system down to the speed the earth actually moves at, which is not the speed you have been moving at. Now imagine that you are standing at the entrance to a garden. It is the hour just before golden hour in late spring, that particular quality of afternoon light that makes everything slightly more beautiful than it normally is, the light that Taurus was built for. The air smells of something green and growing, and underneath that, the particular dark sweetness of warm soil after recent rain. The garden is enclosed, private, completely safe. There is a low stone wall around, and the gate behind you has closed, and you know without checking that nothing outside this garden can reach you right now. Walk inside. The path beneath, the path beneath your feet is soft earth, the kind that gives slightly with each step, the kind that is alive. Feel your feet on it. Press your feet down and feel the earth press back. This exchange, weight given, resistance returned, is the most fundamental conversation a body can have with the world. Let it happen. Let the earth hold you. The garden is full of things that belong to Venus. Roses is every stage, some tightly closed and some blown open, their petals heavy with light. Apple trees with small green fruit just forming. Herbs you can name by their smell before you see them, rosemary and thyme, and something sweeter underneath. Strawberries running along the low border. Lavender humming with bees, the sound of the bees so steady and purposeful and unhurried that simply hearing it slows something in your chest. There is an animal here, your animal, the one that belongs to this garden and to you, and it comes toward you without hurrying. It might be a bull, slow and massive and completely sovereign in its own territory, its coat the color of dark honey, its eyes calm. It might be a deer stepping into the clearing at the garden center, delicate and alert and present. It might be a cat settling onto a warm stone in the last of the afternoon light with the absolute authority of a creature that has decided it belongs exactly where it is. Whatever animal comes to you, let it come. Do not choose it, let it choose you. Sit down in the garden. You might sit against the stone wall, you might find a bench beneath an apple tree, you might simply lower yourself onto the grass in the way that children do without ceremony. Feel the ground beneath you. This is your ground. You belong here as much as anything else that grows here. Place one hand on the earth beside you. Feel the temperature of it. Feel the slight give of it. Take a breath and let it carry the smell of the garden into your body. On the exhale, let your weight settle more fully onto the earth beneath you, as if the breath were the thing that had been holding you slightly above the ground all day. And releasing it allows you finally to actually arrive. With each breath in, receive the light, the smell, the sound of the bees, the warmth of earth through your clothes. With each breath out, release what you have been carrying that the garden does not require you to carry. The urgency, the list, the performance of managing everything. The breath out is the laying down of whatever you picked up before you walk through the gate. Stay here for as long as the body is willing. When you are ready to leave, before you stand, Press both palms flat on the earth beside you. This is the gesture of return, of giving back to the earth the energy it lent you while you were sitting in it. Say thank you if you want. The earth does not need the words, but you may need to say them. Wiggle your toes, your fingers. Take one full breath of the garden before you walk back toward the gate. Stand up slowly. Carry the smell of it with your back into your day. Taurus says the body remembers what the mind forgets. Your body has been in the garden now. It will know how to find its way back. Open your eyes. All right, guys, thank you so much to being here with me. And please, again, hype my video and like it, comment below. Let me know how did it work out for you. Let me know if you have any kind of investment, if you bought copper and it does very well, or silver or gold. And if you are moving anywhere, and how does it affect you? What is Algol doing for you right now? What you are losing your head about, right? What your new moon going to initiate in your life. Thank you so much. Gracias, danke, grazie, merci, obrigado. Thank you, guys. Köszönöm. Bye for now.